One of my youth group boys made the big mistake of wearing cargo shorts to a paintball outing. During the match, he was crouched down behind some rocks, and one of my leaders came up from the other side and shot with 1 in a million aim. The paintball went up the front of the kid's shorts and went up his boxers as well. The kid fell down, reached up his shorts, and then instantly passed out. Now, this is where it gets good. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Youth Group Chronicles. With me on the podcast, I have Isaiah Smallwood and Dustin Coe.
Oh, it is. I love coming back. It just feels like home now. So yeah, this is awesome.
It's a good time. For those who, I say every single podcast episode, but if you have stories that you want to send into this show, if you've been involved in youth ministry, if you went as a child to youth group or a student to youth group and you have some stories you want to share, ygchronicles@gmail.com. We would love to get your contact, because that's what keeps this show going, is your stories. So anyway, let's kick this off. This is from Zoe. She said, here's my dad's biggest youth ministry fail. He had a big van full of teenagers.
How do you start the story out like that, dude? He had a big van. What?
Oh yeah. Oh wait. Before you get into this story, I gotta switch into Savage Zay mode.
Savage. You thought Zay was savage before. Ooh. Well, now he has sunglasses.
Oh wait. Hold on. I got some for you too, bro.
Oh, no way.
I got some for you too, bro.
Yo, it is bright in
Sam,
here.
I forgot about you. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
Cool. But you're unforgettable.
Thanks.
Love you. No, I'm kidding. I only had
Zay,
2 sunglasses.
It's all good. I forgive you. Zoe, we're back to the big van story. She said, here's my dad's biggest youth ministry fail. He had a big van full of teenagers headed from Kansas to Texas for a mission trip. They were driving through the panhandle of Texas, where a lot of feedlots are located. And if you've ever driven through an area of Texas where there are feedlots, there's thousands of cows in one area, and it gave off a very, very strong cow poop smell.
Yes, they do.
Now, the place that they were driving had miles and miles of these feedlots, so the smell was even worse. And my dad, who was the youth pastor, thought it would be very funny to roll down the windows and then lock them down to gross up the kids. But little did he know that one of the girls had a really weak stomach, and she began vomiting all over the church van, which made it smell even worse.
That's what we call a backfire. Because now you're cleaning it.
Oh, take a good long whiff of this, kids.
Open y'all's noses. She was probably asleep. She woke up.
Wait,
just gagging it.
So she's like,
what is that smell?
Oh no, I have to tell this story. I have to
whimper.
tell this story. I totally forgot about this until just now. When I was in Boy Scouts growing up, it wasn't a youth group story.
When he was in Boy Scouts.
I knew you were going to laugh at that. Anyway, we were on our way.
dude, you're the rudest laugher I know. It doesn't
It
matter.
is funny though.
It is
so stereotypical though.
It's hilarious, but somebody will continue talking, and then all you hear out of, because he's not making a sound at all, and then all you hear is. All right, Sam, please.
Oh, again, this is not youth ministry related, but I was a youth. And it's probably one of my most embarrassing moments. So our Boy Scout leader was like a very serious guy, like great guy, but just very serious in nature. And on the way to Boy Scout camp, I was sitting behind him on the way, and we were taking like really curvy roads. And I am like not good with car sickness, but I've never vomited in a car ever. Like I can hold it down. So after about 40 minutes of this windy back road, we're pulling into a gas station to stop. I'm like, I couldn't hold it down anymore. I vomited. I like covered my mouth, vomited, and it spewed onto the back of this guy's head and on the windshield of the car.
So it was like projectile?
It's because I tried to cover my mouth and catch it. It just made it spew more.
Oh my
And
God.
I remember...
Like you cover up a water hose.
Yes.
And it's like...
It was literally that. This is as we were pulling into the parking lot of a gas station. And I remember, like, my grandpa was there, so he was like... He was a trooper. He, like, helped clean it up. But I remember the scout leader came out of the bathroom with his hair slicked back.
Wow.
Because he literally just gave himself a sink back. And I'm like, I felt so horrible. Probably goes down as one of my most embarrassing things ever.
Did you get one of your badges revoked?
You have to go help another old person, Sam. I don't know why your scout leader's Southern all of a sudden, but
yeah, he wasn't. But yeah, that was one of my most embarrassing. Again, not youth ministry, but that was out of my memory until just now. That's bad.
Dang, you repressed it that long.
Yeah, that's great.
See, this show is not just fun. It is not just wholesome. It's literally therapy.
Yeah, there you go.
Look at that.
Brought it from the depths.
Thank you, the Lord.
We'll go back to some email submissions. This is from Zaxter96. He said, you guys can't laugh at everything. You know that, right?
Come on, man. This is from Zaxter.
I didn't laugh till I heard.
That's all right, my bad.
Hey, Savage.
Savage Dudders.
While we were on a youth mission trip with multiple churches, we had a foot washing service. As the site leader read some scripture, he came to the name Semen Peter, except he accidentally pronounced his name Semen Peter. And he didn't realize it was his mistake, but just kept reading on. I lowered my head with a smile on my face, everything I could do to keep from laughing out loud. What this actually did, though, is it set off a chain reaction as all the adult leaders from our church started to chuckle and make all sorts of noises as they tried to keep from laughing. This only made us want to laugh more. Before we know it, we look up, and the leader had stopped his sermon, and him, along with the entire crowd, is glaring at us because we were giggling like children in what was supposed to be a very serious moment. And to make all this worse, none of the students nor anyone else from any other of the churches had noticed what he said, so they couldn't figure out why we were being so disruptive.
Well, they weren't even paying attention to the message. That's why.
Sinful. Sinners.
This is our embarrassing youth ministry stories segment. Austin said, one of my most embarrassing youth ministry stories was when I did a teaching on different religions. I was teaching on Wiccanism, and I wanted to find a video that described their beliefs. Well, I watched the whole video while I was working on my slides because I thought I could multitask.
Nope.
Turns out one of their gods in this religion is like a mystical forest creature who had the look of a goat with a very large male body part. I didn't find this out until I was playing the video in front of all my youth group kids.
No.
Pastor, what's that?
It's just a little oversized.
Ain't real.
It's not real. This is demonic.
You guys are insane. Oh,
dude, but God. Come on. If you're watching something about occultism.
First of all,
anything.
Why are you showing that to your kids?
Right?
Bro?
Actually, okay.
What is this?
I don't know why. I'm always the guy that stands up for the people. Not gonna lie. I have to be the nice guy on the show. Anyway, in Bible school, we literally did a class on other religions.
That's Bible college.
Yeah, so why not? He said there was some context. He said he was trying. He thinks it's important for them to know other religions. so that they can know how to share.
And I'm not saying,
which is
their
fair.
mother.
I'm not even saying dude, don't teach people about other religions because.
But watch the video first.
From an apologetic standpoint, you have to know about other religions.
No,
that's why he was doing it.
You have to. So I get that, but proofread, proof watch.
Well, he did say he was watching it, but he can't multitask. So that's on you.
Triple check everything, especially if it comes to occultism.
That's true. Yeah. Now
shame,
you know. Now
for
you know.
Shame. And now everybody knows what a mystical, very large male forest body thing is.
I'll do another one here. Elias said, my most embarrassing youth ministry story. Bro, I can't stand you. Why do you have to laugh every time I go to a new story?
I smiled at you.
Yeah.
I literally went I said.
That's your laugh, though. That's the start of a laugh. Is the
Yeah, it starts out like that, and then before long it's silence, and then
That's pretty accurate.
It is very
All right.
accurate.
Elias said, my most embarrassing youth ministry story was when I was using one raw egg and one boiled egg as a teaching illustration. I wanted to play a joke on the students and accidentally dropped a raw egg on the student while I was teaching. But I must have switched without realizing and forgot which one was which. And I actually did drop a raw egg on a student during their best dressed clothes. Room immediately silent.
So, just wash your clothes.
No sympathy from Isaiah.
Literally none.
He's cool.
Dude.
He's still all right, man. Hey,
best
bro. Excellent job.
Oh my, I just got that.
Yep.
Dummy.
Take your time.
Connor said, my most embarrassing youth ministry story was when I was giving my testimony at youth group. I was explaining to students that when I was younger, I had this disease that God had healed me of called Herpes Disease. In my mind, I psyched myself out on the pronunciation of the disease, and what I ended up saying was, when I was 7, I was diagnosed with Herpes Disease.
I mean, God can still heal it, but
Yes.
won't he do it? He will.
Stop looking at me,
At
Sam.
the age of 7.
Sam
herpes.
wants me to say something wrong.
I do want you to say something.
Like the way that he looks at me, he's just like,
I'm just waiting for you to say something.
But
That's
just,
what
but just think of like
Isaiah.
like I'm picturing like 60, 70 kids, right? And it's just like testimony. It's like a serious time at the age of
I'm not
7.
doing that.
It's the age of 7. I was diagnosed with herpes disease because there's herpes. But then he said he had herpes disease.
Bro, after doing this many episodes with you, I always know when you're on the cusp of about to say something. So I just sit here and like watch you and wait.
It's fair. Yep.
Ew.
Moisturize yourself.
Next story, please.
Was it
Come on.
wait, or what's the word? Not moisturize.
All right, we'll move
Hydrate.
on. Isaiah doesn't want to say anything.
I can't. Okay, I
you can say
can't.
something. You can
I
say
can't.
something.
I can't say anything.
Lucas said, my most embarrassing youth ministry story was when I was also working as a
Savage
middle
mode.
school PE teacher. On a rough day with the 6th graders, I meant to tell them to stop jacking around in the locker
Oh
rooms.
my gosh, bro. Not 6th graders.
But instead, I accidentally told the whole group they needed to stop jacking off in the locker rooms.
Yeah. Quit drinking off in there.
Somebody's face got mad red. How did you know? I've been had.
So like, how do you?
I'm compromised.
Phil said, my most embarrassing youth ministry story was when we went on a nature walk with our youth group. A mom was in front of me and she was going down the hill, but she stepped wrong and slipped. But to keep her balance, she accidentally grabbed the front of my pants right in my crotch.
Oh, Pastor! Save me!
Grab my strong hand.
Yes. Oh, for those of you unaware,
hand.
that is a Scary Movie 3 reference. You don't have to watch it. You're fine. Just know that it was expertly placed.
Wow.
Oh,
Man.
Brian said, one of my most embarrassing youth ministry fails was when I was stepping up onto the stage to participate with the worship team. It was about 18 inches tall, and as I stepped up with my second foot, it slipped back down to the ground, so my pants ripped from the center seam all the way inside past my knee.
Yes.
I didn't have time to go home and get new pants, so I had to run to the store and hope my butt wasn't hanging out too far. To make it a million times
far.
worse, the worship team was all females. So this was also another story from Brian. This is, when I got this story, I think this is one of my favorites that I've ever read.
Really?
I was really caught off guard. I have never, so hopefully I'm not gassing up too much. But Brian said, one of my youth group boys made the big mistake of wearing cargo shorts to a paintball outing. During the match, he was crouched down behind some rocks, and one of my leaders came up from the other side and shot with 1 in a million aim. The paintball went up the front of the kid's shorts and went up his boxers as well. The kid fell down, reached up his shorts, and then instantly passed out. Now, this is where it gets good.
It's a what? That's not the good part.
The reason he passed out was because after the paintball went up his shorts and hit him in the crotch, the paintball never popped. So when the kid reached into his shorts to check the damage, he felt a loose paintball in there, but he thought it was one of his you-know-whats had detached from his body, and the kid instantly passed out cold in the paintball match.
One of them's loose. I'm free balling. Pastor, help. I need prayer. That poor kid. He said they're out. I'm out. That's okay. You did not cast that up as all. That is
like,
incredible.
what are the chances? What are the literal chances?
Guys, I thought it was my nut, man. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna keep it. But it wasn't.
The kids say a buck, right? I'll keep it a buck.
No weapon formed against, man. No weapon. My kids are safe. The enemy thought he had me and my generations. It was just a paintball.
And my line.
My loins are safe.
Oh, that's good.
That is quite the shot, though.
Yeah. What? Literally 1 in a million aim. That's
what are
crazy.
the chances?
Up the shorts and the boxers.
My loins were fully girded. Took no effect.
A couple more stories here. Phil said, my most embarrassing youth ministry story was when our youth group went on a retreat to an island, and someone warned us about a nude beach section of that island. Except she told us
nude beach.
She told us it was the opposite direction from a staircase than it actually was. So myself and the entire youth group accidentally walked straight into a nude beach. I'm trying to see how long we can keep the silence.
Google is so free.
Google is
if you heard rumors, this is different than the restaurant stories, because they heard rumors, so they could have Googled it. They could have.
This is different. Well, okay, yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
But he got directions from someone.
When you got kids with you, bro, you got to be the one that makes sure they're safe. So if that means that you got to pull out your phone, go on Google and be like, this island, is it a nude beach? Is there one? Which side? You know, things like that.
Yo, if I'm ever going to the beach, though, like that, I mean, maybe now after doing this show, but like that would have never crossed my mind.
No, it wouldn't have. But we live in a time where people just run around naked, man.
I'm just thinking about like a year from now, there's going to be a youth pastor down in Florida on a trip, has the whole youth group with him, remembers this episode.
Yeah, probably.
Then he does a tweet. He goes, almost took my teens to a nudist beach, but then I remembered Isaiah saying, hey, Google's free, and I remembered Google is free.
Google's free.
Yeah.
Thanks, Youth Group
Let that
Chronicles.
be a lesson to you all.
Love y'all, man.
Yeah.
I'm here for
This
you.
is from Adam. Adam said...
All right, savage mode.
Okay.
It's a new segment. I'm sorry.
It's not a segment. It's just a moment.
Adam said, my most embarrassing youth ministry story was when I found a screw that had fallen out of one of the chairs at youth group. I picked it up and handed it to a female student standing nearby, and without thinking, I said, want a screw?
No. Could you read it again? Read the story again.
My most embarrassing youth ministry story was when I found a screw that had fallen out of the back of a chair at a youth event. I picked it up and handed it to a female student standing nearby, and without thinking, said, "Want a screw," or "Want a screw." Mm-hmm.
That man was trying to pick up lines. I don't care what anybody
maybe.
says. I don't care what anybody says. He was trying it. He was trying it.
He was shooting a shot.
He was shooting a shot, man.
Shooting a shot.
Samantha.
I mean, I definitely understand like Freudian slips, but there's a few things that you pick up on being a human and being a guy.
There it is. Don't be in the car alone.
You just don't say like, "Hey, would you like a screw?" Why are you looking at this girl passing and asking if they want a piece of hardware that fell out of a chair? That's just weird.
I don't know. Okay.
Why are you so serious right now?
Because we gotta learn. Come
All
on,
right.
TikTok.
That's all she wrote for this episode of Youth Group Chronicles. I appreciate all of you all
Put
listening.
my glasses on.
If you have stories you want to share,
Please.
ygchronicles@gmail.com. Send them into the
Please.
show. Check out TikTok. We post clips there pretty much every single day. YG Chronicles on Instagram as well. That's where we post all our reels as well. So Instagram, TikTok, check them out. Stories, send them in. Also, if you like this show, leave us a rating or a review. That'd be nice.
Yeah, Spotify, Apple,
Yes,
iTunes stuff.
please. If it's less than 5 stars, just don't. We don't want that
Which is
negativity up in
fair.
here. Until next week, guys. See you soon. Thanks, Dustin and Zay.
And ask YG.
Awesome.
Okay?
Ask Y- oh, they
Ask YG.
Ask YG.
Ask us. We're here for you.
Peace.